Hey, welcome back to the Six Figure Mastermind. Today, I've got a secret. It's not really a secret because I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the secrets to public speaking. I'm going to unlock them for you, so keep watching. There's a lot of people that feel a message burning inside of them. They feel like they have something really important to share with their communities or maybe even the world, but they slam on the brakes because they think there's some kind of thing holding them back and they don't know how to unlock their power when it comes to speaking on stage. I'm going to give you the 3 C's to unlocking the secret to getting on stage and being a public speaker. The first thing that you need to remember is connection. You come to an event and you want to see the speaker on stage, and there's a big difference when a speaker who is a guru and they walks up on stage and they totally forget that they're speaking to an audience and they just deliver the message, say thank you, and they walk away. And they barely even make eye contact with you. They don't engage you in the conversation at all. There's zero connection. If you want to be not just an informational, but a transformational public speaker, meaning your audience is different because they spent time with you, you need to create connection. Connection is created by making eye contact. Connection is also created by engaging in the emotions of your audience. Connection is created by doing state changes. A state change for me happens every 90 seconds whenever I'm speaking to an arena full of people. Meaning I'm either going to make them laugh, I'm going to make them turn to their neighbor and give them a high five, I'm going to make them stand up, I'm going to make them physically do something different than they did 90 seconds ago, so that state change kind of keeps them awake, keeps them alive, and keeps them connected with me. And guess what? If they don't want to play, I kind of make them play. I demand that out of my audience, not in a tyrannical, like, you have to, you can't be here kind of a way. But if I ask for my audience for a raise of hands and nobody raises their hands, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up there and say, hey guys, I asked you to raise your hands. Now who in here wants to know more? And I'm going to have them raise their hands, and I'm not going to go on until they do it with me, because I'm teaching my audience, guess what? This is my house and we're going to play together because I want to be connected to you. So don't rip off your audience by severing that connection. The second secret to public speaking is content. Now, I could go on for days about content. In fact, I have content about the content, lots of content about the content. But here's the basics that you need to know. Your content is this. You've heard before that your mess becomes your message, right? Now, it really doesn't work if your mess hasn't been all sorted out yet. So, for example, if you're teaching people how to, let's see, be a weight loss professional and you haven't lost much weight, like at all, and your body doesn't show the results, your credibility just tanked. Okay? You need to have content that you've actually created and shown some results from. So in other words, you need to be through your mess. The mess needs to be over for you to deliver an effective message on it. Here's the other thing about your content. You're going to find that as you hone in on your signature presentation, as you create this masterfully crafted A to Z signature presentation, in fact, if you do that with me, you have about 9 pages front and back on how to deliver this presentation succinctly. When you master that signature presentation, we call it a signature presentation for a reason. It's because your content is going to be repeated over and over and over again. Now, that may sound dull to you, that may sound kind of ineffective to you, but you've got it completely backwards if that's the case. Tell me this, have you ever listened to a song more than once? Have you ever read a book more than once? Have you ever watched a movie more than once? And my guess is the answer is yes. Why did you do that? Because you loved the content. You wanted more of it. You wanted to see it again. I can't tell you how many times, I think when The Greatest Showman came out, I remember listening to someone on Facebook said that they went to see it in theaters 22 times because they loved it so much. Now, I'm a super fan. I didn't get there 22 times, but you can bet I watched it over and over and over again because I loved it. When you hone in on a masterful message, be okay delivering that content over and over and over again, because here's what's going to happen. People are going to say, I loved your presentation. I loved this transformational piece that you did. I would like to invite my friends to come over. When are you doing this again? And guess what? You're going to tell them when it is, because like a true speaking professional, you have 2 dates on the calendar every single time. Right? What I just said. I just gave you a gold nugget. Like, always have 2 dates on the calendar for your presentations, okay? Yes, I'm delivering my presentation. The next one is next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Here's the location. Great. I'm going to bring my friends. We're going to go. And you're going to deliver the content the same way, the same thing you just did again. So create evergreen content for your speaking presentation. And that leads me to my third point, consistency. When people subscribe to you, maybe on YouTube, when they follow you on Facebook, when they love your message, you want to have a consistent brand. And that means a few things. First and foremost, it means that your brand is consistent upon all platforms of social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, that they're not going to be surprised in a bad way or a negative way when they see something on one platform and they see something similar on another platform. If you've created a family-friendly content over here and suddenly you're dropping curse words over here, that's not consistency, and you're going to lose people like that because you've failed to provide them with what they came to you to get, okay? You need to have consistency. Also, consistency in your timing. So if, like, for example, you start a YouTube channel and you're producing content every single day, you need to keep producing content every single day. If you start it once a week, you can keep it at once a week. With content consistency, you can always increase your volume, but it's really difficult to keep your subscribers if you ever decrease in volume. Okay, so be consistent in the message and be consistent in your delivery of that content. When it comes to public speaking and your consistency, you need to be on a consistent schedule. Like I said, 2 dates on the calendar at all times. People need to know when they can hear from you again. Keep your message consistent. Are you welcome to add new content? Absolutely, but you need to be consistent within your brand. If something doesn't match your brand, either in your message, in your delivery of the message, in your location, in your venue, in your dress, it needs to be changed. So everything maintains its consistency. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and do yourself a favor and ring that bell so you can get notified of when my next video comes out. Here's the thing, guys. I love training public speakers. It is one of my greatest passions. So if you feel that call, if you're feeling that proverbial kick in the pants, and you know your message needs to get out in front of dozens, hundreds, or maybe even thousands of people, I want to work with you. So do me a favor and yourself a favor. Go to the description, click on that link, and let's have a conversation between you and me and my team and see how we can help you get on your next stage. I'll see you tomorrow.